A lot of people ask me, when's the best time to seed their lawns? There are a lot of different things you need to consider when determining that time. Most folks plant their seed in the fall. When you think of fall, you think of the cooling temperatures and the leaves falling. And a lot of people think that the best time is either just before or just after the leaves fall. But I'm here to set you straight. The best time, well, I'll tell you what, let's look at Mother Nature. When does Mother Nature put out seed? I was driving here today. This is the middle of June, and I was noticing on the highway that the areas that the grass hadn't been cut, it was starting to turn tan. And that tan stuff is seed. Now, if you give it 3 or 4 more weeks, that seed's going to mature, and another few weeks, the seed's going to drop, and that puts us into middle of July-ish. So, middle of July is the earliest you can do it, but I recommend the 3rd, 4th week of July, because that's really when Mother Nature gets that seed to actually touch the soil. It takes a little while for it to filter down through all the thatch. So if you put your seed out the last week of July all the way through September, that is your prime seeding time for your cool season grasses. If we follow Mother Nature, we're going to do a whole lot better job. A lot of folks don't think of it that way, but it's better to get it down early because it takes a little while for the grass seed to germinate. It needs to pull in moisture from the atmosphere or irrigation or rain. 7 to 10 days is when your ryegrass germinate. 10 to 20 days are your tall fescues, and 15 to 30 days for your bluegrasses. Your creeping red fescues, 15 days is about what it takes on them. So it takes a little while for it to germinate. Now, if you put it down at the last week of July, usually we get some rain first, second week of September. So about the middle of September, you're starting to see germination. Now, a lot of people are just starting to plant it down there, but you got to wait. And some of the things that you need to consider are moisture levels, soil temperatures. Sunlight's not so big for germination, but it's mostly moisture levels and soil temperatures. You need a warm ground in order for it to germinate, and you need sufficient moisture. Take a break for a second. When planting seed in the fall, it's good to ensure that you have good seed to soil contact. And we'll talk about methods of planting seed later on. So the fall is the best time. Your second best time is in the spring. The spring, as I mentioned about soil temperatures, the soil temperature has to be above 55 degrees in order for grass seed to germinate. The warmer it is, the quicker it'll germinate. So you need to put it out middle of March, April maybe. Stuart, that's when I put down my pre-emergence. Is that going to be a problem? Yes, it will. If you're doing it in the spring, it kind of messes up the cycle. The cycle of our lawn care applications, that is. We like to do it in the fall so we can, in the spring, put down pre-emergence, keep anything new from germinating. Now, hey Stuart, I've tried in the spring and I've had good luck. Well, probably what you did, your pre-emergent was down and you broke that barrier. You scratched up really well, put your seed down, and were able to power through it that way. Doesn't always work, but that is certainly a possibility, and some people have reported some success that way. Fall is by far the best time to do it. Spring, second best time. Also had very good luck during the season doing spot seeding. The trick to that is throw a handful down, work it in, make sure you get good seed to soil contact, and sometimes you won't even have any bare spots because of this procedure. Top dressing is a great thing to put on top of your seed. Keep it evenly moist, and you should have great success.